Looks pretty radioactive to me. Hello everybody and welcome back. We're on German Street in St. James in central London, and we're going to have a look around what I'm calling the secret St. James, which is some of the streets off of German Street, back of Piccadilly, just some places that the tourists generally do not go down. This street, of course, famous for men's fashions, so I'm going to probably point the camera through quite a few windows. And I'll show you a pretty decent pair of shoes. Have a look at those. Those are by the company Church's top British shoemaker. And they're really pretty smart, aren't they? Love the ones with those red laces. You've got some decent leather gloves, etc. It is December the 13th, Sunday. It's about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Pretty wet, pretty grey. It's winter, basically. That's how December is, and in 6 months' time it will be July and baking hot. So what we'll do, as I said today, is pay attention to some of the windows, and let's have a look over here. You've got Hawks and Curtis. Yep, that camel coat's pretty nice. And we're at Church Place here, and the church here, which I'm just about to tell you the name of, is certainly pretty famous in London history, and there's a decent tree there. Unfortunately, as I'm holding the umbrella in my right hand, I can't zoom you up on anything today, so hope that doesn't detract from the experience. But yeah, just showing you some details on the windows in the back of the church. Okay, let's go down here. And some more pretty well turned out mannequins there. As you can see, the fashion here is aimed at the sort of wealthy older man. It's the eponymous duffer in red corduroy trousers that I mentioned on my South Kensington video. In fact, ubiquitous is the word I should say, not eponymous. Ubiquitous is the correct word. Yeah, I mean, it's Prince Charles' day-to-day wear, really, isn't it? I mean, yeah, there's perhaps one or two shirts I'd wear, but not a fan of that ultra sort of upper class tailored look. But the shop just here, this is a bit special. This is called GEO Trumper, and it's a men's barber and shaving specialist, and these brushes are just beautiful. No idea of the prices because they don't put any on, but
oh, I could have got a razor in there.
I'd imagine that, I mean, they're using the top quality materials for those. I mean, it's they're almost works of art, aren't they? I mean, I'm just pointing the camera through the grill there so you can see. And then there's some sort of eau de colognes and aftershaves, and then these beautiful sort of scissor sets for nail clippers, and there's a shoehorn there. I mean, it's all great stuff. I mean, yeah, I mean, with the best materials, etc., etc. So I don't need to own these items exactly. I mean, I'm fine with inferior copies, but just as objects in themselves are interesting. I don't know if you can see there's some sort of soaps, really beautiful. There they are, beautiful soaps. Yeah, between the umbrella and the grill there, I wasn't perhaps showing you the best images. This is quite nice. This is the Red Lion pub, an old St. James's pub. And then you've got these sort of designations that you'll see on many British pubs. Public bar would be one, and then often it would say saloon bar. So that would be the sort of old-fashioned sort of demarcations. But I mean, the lights aren't on in there, so I can't show you really what it's famous for, which is the glasswork in there. Superb sort of Victorian glasswork. But let's have a look over here. Yeah, the rain's been on and off today. I wasn't sure if I was going to do a recording, but I thought I'll have an attempt in a rather attractive name, Apple Tree Yard. Let's have a look down here. Yeah, it just ends at that sort of modern block there. And then here we've got a firm of architects. You can see a bit of the lettering on there, and then a nice piece of sculpture. And there's an interesting detail just to show you here, the gas light of St. James, gentleman's lounge and bar. And of course, for me as always, the light at the top is interesting. And straight in front of you is St. James's Square, and this is kind of nice with the two pillars, the door, the light. And then I must show you this up here. As I said, I can't well, I'll put the umbrella down for a second and zoom you in there. So that's Henry German, Earl of St. Albans, and his dates, as you can see, are 1605 to 1684. Diplomat, favourite of Queen Henrietta Maria, and founder of the West End. And above it, it says something interesting. All this was the inspiration of one man, and that's yeah, that's a pretty decent green plaque there. And then around here there's something a bit special. That's the London Library in front of me, which is a private members library. I think the fees are about £1,500 a year, something like that, for researchers and academics. But have a look at that. Here lived 3 prime ministers: William Pitt, Earl of Chatham, the Earl of Derby, and of course William Gladstone. So that's That's a blue plaque that is a bit special. And you get an idea of the sort of quality of the architecture here. I mean, this is your sort of proper sort of empire, British Empire sort of heartland, really, isn't it? Piccadilly and Empire. But let's have a look now at some of the hidden, the secret St. James. Apart from fine men's tailoring, men's fashion on Jermyn Street, the area is really noted because of its art galleries. I'm assuming that's sort of connected to the fact that the Royal Academy, the museum on Piccadilly, I'm guessing that this area then became all sort of part of that. Yeah, the brain's going. I had a thing. I think Royal Academy, is that what it's called? Yeah, I think that's it. So let's swing around here. There's a nice sort of Venetian mural there. We are in Ormond Yard, and I had a sort of nose around here a couple of hours ago just to see what was worth recording, and I certainly found some interesting bits and pieces, having never properly explored here, so I'm going to show you those. And I do like that. That's the old-fashioned barber's thing, and this is the back of somewhere called Briggs, Gentleman's Court Hairdresser. So not just your sort of Luigi the barber, that's a court hairdresser. Now let's be a bit cheeky and find some of these hidden little areas, and here we go. Now this is interesting. We've come out into this odd sort of square. Have a look at this. Mason's Yard. That keeps cropping up, doesn't it? And this is sort of a bit special. Let's try and put the umbrella down. I think the rain's eased off. It's just sort of a fine drizzle, but I think the phone can handle it. But it's just a bit unusual here. So you've got this place, Benjamin Spademan, Rare Books, and there's some nice items in there. Fabrique de Carte, and no doubt some fine antiquarian books there. Let's go over here. As I said, I only really first checked this out just literally a couple of hours ago, but I was pretty impressed, so I thought I'd better do a recording. There's a place there, Checkers Tavern, sort of tucked in this hidden quarter, and a few tables and chairs, no patrons. We've got this place, J.H. Bourbon Smith Limited, which seems to be focusing on silverware. I'll show you that. And this is of interesting. As you can see, it's just all super fine arts, and this is the back of the that private London library I was mentioning, just showing you some of their items. I'm guessing this sort of hideous concrete stone thing is part of the library, but we'll overlook that. And then a couple of interesting lights there, just sort of stuck on some more modern brickwork. I mean, this is great here with these stalls and the place for the drinks. I mean, imagining that this square has seen some pretty fun times in the summer, especially when those commissions come in. Commissions being that Christie's, the auction house, is located right here, so I imagine if they have a good day, there's some extra money around. And I'll just show you from the front, Chequers Tavern. It's pretty nice, old London tavern. And here you've got something interesting here. Peter Finer, Arms and Armour, established 1967. And then there's some interesting pieces. And I don't know if it was this one. There was one which had a sort of full set of samurai armour. Perhaps that was another place. But it's just really galleries all over here. It's a nice painting. In fact, that bookshop's got some stuff that I could be interested in. I'll have to come back for a browse there, perhaps. Let's have a look over here. Some decent naval and maritime paintings there. And that is a Dutch states yacht and a man of war. So that's quite special. Yeah, I do like a mouldy cellar with some dripping water. Not everyone's cup of tea. And I passed by here earlier. Now this is pretty interesting. That painting there is called Candida, and it's by Lord Leighton, and it was purchased by this art dealer or firm of art dealers, Martin Beasley, and they bought that painting for £520,000. The reason I know that is because there's a little bit of information there. So, painted by Frederick Lord Leighton in around 1894 to 5, purchased there for £520,000 by Martin Beasley. Obviously bought at a later date, but there's a photograph there showing Frederick Leighton's studio in 1895, and then on the lower left, as it says, is the Candida painting, which is just there. So $500,000 for that particular item. And there's some other things there. So let's have a look on the other side of the road. And interesting, this is the back of Christie's, the auction house, and you can see it's in an sort of Italian palazzo style with those sort of balconies there. So that's obviously deliberate design there. And this is over here. This is a fine furniture place, McKinnon Fine Furniture. And there's another gallery here with sort of quite a special looking book there. Some other paintings. I suppose it being a Sunday afternoon, it is quieter here than normally in a weekday, but I think even these days it's not going to ever be super crowded here. If you think just how many hundreds of thousands or millions of people pour out of Piccadilly Circus, and so very few sort of make it around to these streets. And that's fine painting there by it's like Gustave Le Saux. And I passed this earlier, and I do like this. This is a gallery showing work by someone called Sean Jefferson, and there's just something for me quite pleasing about these paintings. Just do like the sort of bright colours there. I mean, unfortunately this grill is sort of right in our way, so it's difficult to see, but you can see that there's various figures in sort of greens and blues, and there's one just there. Yeah, I'm not familiar with his work at all, but just happened to pass by here, and perhaps because it's such a grey, sort of dull day, these colours just really stand out. And then there's another figure through there. So I'll have to do some research on Sean Jefferson, because I do like those paintings. They're sort of fantasy sort of type pieces, I suppose you would say, with a sort of medieval flavour. But yep, I do like those. Okay, where shall we go now? Let's go around here. So this actual premises is the Society of London Art Dealers, or rather it's a member of that organisation. You can see you've got various different scenes, something sort of bucolic there. There's a nice scene there. And more fine sculptures. So certainly someone is purchasing these items. There is money around. There's sort of wealthy British collectors, wealthy international collectors, and I imagine in normal times this sector is pretty buoyant. I mean, we've all seen the newspaper stories when a painting is auctioned in either Christie's, Sotheby's, or one of the New York houses, and it sort of breaks all records. Sort of old masters or impressionist paintings tend to fetch some high prices. And it says there, a highly important Chamberlain's Worcester Botanical Dessert Service circa 1800 to 1810. So I know in that Regency period the wealthy certainly went in for a lot of courses in their dinner. So Howard Hodgkin, memories, don't know him, but connected to Hazlitt. And then if we have a look at this is pretty special. This Chinese art dealer, and showing you some sort of quite special items there. Of course, these grills are essential to prevent your sort of smash and grab. There's a younger duffer, shall I say, in the red corduroy. And then there's this, looks like a sort of Winnie the Pooh character. Don't know quite what that's about. Well, it says down there, and it's nothing to do with English literature. It's Japanese, circa 1890. And then you've got a fine vessel just there. This is where I saw the sort of samurai suit of armour earlier. So I'm just showing you that through there. And then here you've got something, without my glasses, ain't going to attempt to read it, but it's Japanese, and then one of your sort of vases or vases, if you prefer. Plenty of silverware there. And there's another quite striking old St.James pub over here, so I'll just show you through here. And this is the sort of front of Christie's, showing you some of the sort of bits there. And there's an Old Masters evening sale on 15th of December, which is Tuesday evening. But I haven't been invited, so I can't report to you from there. And then showing you over there, Golden Lion, that's sort of nicely done out for Christmas there. It's just over there. And another sort of Dutch master there. Where should we go? Let's cross over here. As I spotted a little alleyway called Angel Court, and well worth doing. It's got some attractive bits and pieces here. There you go. And there's a theatre bar, first floor, and then there's some information on St. James's Theatre, which I'll hold the phone still and you can read that. And there's an interesting mural at the top there. So let's have a look. and that's a bit different. Yeah, not really sure what those 3 panels represent. Should be able to tell, but can't. I have never seen that before. I imagine that this passageway does lend itself to that. If people have had a heavy drinking session on this road outside, which is Pall Mall, which is famous for the sort of gentlemen's clubs. I'll show you just one example over there. And then looking back there, and then over there you've got St. James's Palace, of course, which I think, if I remember, was the London home of Prince Charles. I might have got that wrong. It's certainly all part of the Crown Estate. Well, this whole area is St. James, much of Mayfair, Belgravia, and even the little passageways, they've managed to put their stamp on it. So we'll explore up here, show you that way. Pretty atmospheric. And there's some wonderful details in. I mean, look at this red work up here. I mean, it's pretty special, isn't it? This is the red line. You can see that it's a great sort of traditional looking English pub. It's good to show you. Go, red line. It's pretty special. And it says here, reputedly the second oldest licence in the West End, the village pub in the heart of St. James. And there's something referencing the current times that we live in. Anyway, let's hop up here.
It's still on. Keep pushing again, Kev. That's it.
Hello. And this is pretty nice here. This is James Lock & Co Limited, which is a hat maker. And I've got to show you the sign there. This is the back of their premises. The front is on St. James's Street. It's a bit special there, I think. Lock & Co Hatters, St. James's Street. And check the vintage there.
Really nice Christmas. Alright, see you later. Take care. What? Go on, look at me. He's way down
here. Plenty of activity going on, even though it's Sunday. So I'll swing it round there, showing you a sort of panorama there.
but that's my.
And here you've got something interesting, Crown Passage vaults. And some information there. And as always, I like to look into these little corners, see what there is. And another old bit of heritage there. Davies, established 1870. I'll show you that like that. And some pretty decent vintages there. Okay, let's go back up here. And then you've got this thing here, 20th century objet de luxe. And more beautiful and expensive things. Sorry. Yeah, we came down here earlier, so we'll try some different streets. Here you've got China trade paintings, pictures relating to China and the Far East. And some uncollected rubbish there. And that's a bit unusual. I'm not really sure what that is. Oh, it's a sort of chronometer connected to watchmaking, clocks, etc. And there you have black on black, which looks like a bit of a masterpiece. Okay, and is there anything else to show you over this side? I'll show this lady here. I think I might conclude the video now. So that's your secret St. James. Hope you enjoyed the look through some of those windows, some of those beautiful paintings and other objects. So I shall say thanks again for watching Kent Davidson Urban Adventures, and see you next time. Bye for now.